This story is not for entertainment purposes only. This is an educational story for all of y'all who ain't been to Abu Dhabi. This is my first time in Abu Dhabi, so I'm kind of learning the rules still. Okay, so let me tell you something. In Abu Dhabi, a changing room is not a changing room. You do not change in a changing room. I don't know where you change, but you certainly don't do it in a changing room. Okay, so what happened is after training, I was at a gym. I took a shower, and I go from the shower to the changing room, which is right next to the showers. And I go out of the shower butt naked into the changing room to change into my clothes. There were 6 Muslim men in that changing room, and they had them full white gowns on head to toe. You already know what I'm talking about. Apparently, me being naked greatly offended them, to the point where I thought that they might actually start a fight with me. And they started walking at me. They started yelling at me. And I could tell that they were mad because I was naked. Because they wasn't mad when I walked in. They was only mad when I got out of the shower. And I was like, okay, well, they must be mad that I'm naked. And I didn't know this until it was too late. So I got these 6 dudes about to fight me, 6-on-1, okay? And I'm trying to tell them, hey, I'm sorry. You know, they got all their white gowns on, and I start thinking, well, my Lord, I think all of my years of gi training are about to pay off, because I'm about to be grabbing these dudes by their gowns and just fighting, brother, because that's the only thing I can do is just pull that towel over their head and start swinging. That's what was going through my head. And so I was sitting there exposed before my fellow man. And by the way, there was a cold breeze in that room. So not only am I exposed before my fellow man, I'm outnumbered and I'm outsized, if you know what I'm saying. So I'm not feeling very confident at this moment. And I got these 6 dudes yelling at me, walking at me, telling me leave, leave, leave. And then, thank the Lord, TJ Brown comes in. He says, hey, Bryce, you all right, brother? And that was the happiest I've ever been to see TJ Brown in my life. Because I thought, we can sure as hell take 3 apiece. I don't know if I can take 6 of them, but I know I can take 3 of them. I proceeded to tell them I'm sorry over and over. And then they finally let me get dressed. And brother, let me tell you, I have never put on my blue jeans and my boots quicker in my life than I did that day. And then I got the heck out of that locker room and I learned my lesson. So let me tell y'all, if you're in Abu Dhabi, do not get naked in front of none of these dudes. In the changing room, it don't matter where you're at. I'm just telling you. Because I ain't going to be happy. You might get into a fight. And just want to share that with y'all because you might find it funny. But at the time, it was not funny. It scared the hell out of me. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it.
I think Jon Jones' legacy doesn't need Tom Aspinall as Tom Aspinall.
Needs Jon.
I don't think he does.
He does, bro.
He doesn't.
You know why?
Why?
And I'm only telling you this from a guy that lived in that world, right?
Yeah, you lived in that division.
I also never beat him.
Yeah.
And I had, no matter what I did going forward, it was always that, well, you never beat Jon Jones. Tom Aspinall is going to get that belt, and there's going to be a gap, right? That lineal championship breaks. That line breaks. When Tom goes from interim to champion. Because Jon never gave him the opportunity to fight him.
But either did Francis never gave Jon Jones the opportunity to fight him.
Francis was going to give Jon an opportunity. Jon wasn't ready to take it at the time.
Exactly.
Right?
So there you have that same type of thing.
So it keeps breaking. Francis left. Made a boatload of money. So in retrospect, Francis probably made the right decision because he got paid so much money to box.
Exactly.
But Jon not fighting Tom messes with the the line of succession, the balance of the world. It's like the Avengers. And the Infinity Stones going back. He needed to fight him. I wish he would have fought him but I think he's not fighting him for one reason and one reason only. He doesn't want to put the work in that he needs to.
I wrestled Jon Jones in college. I lost by 1 point.
You wrestled?
With
Jon Jones?
I lost by 1 point. I bumped up 2 weight classes.
Wow.
And I because our 184 pounder got hurt. And I won nationals at 165. I jumped up 2 weight classes, and I was weighing in at 175 pounds and wrestling these guys cutting from 200 to 185. And I took 3rd at nationals that year. And I wrestled Jon Jones at the Cliff Key National Duels, and I lost by 1 point. Almost beat him.
Well, great.
So every time we talk to each other, we always mess around. He grabbed my glasses one time. He says, "You won't get these back." I said, "You want to wrestle?" And he said, "No, here you go."
He was top 5 for, I don't know what, the last decade? Like, you know what I mean? Like, is he maybe the greatest non-champion ever? Like, is there an argument for that?
I think he's definitely at the top of that list for sure. I put myself on that list somewhere, you know, just because I like to toot my own horn. But when Dustin's above me on that, and yeah, I would agree on that, man. Yeah, he is absolutely. You know, we'd have to think about that and write down some names and compare resumes and stuff. But he's absolutely got to be the top of the list. I'd also put him at the top of the list of just greatest warriors in the UFC. You know, the whole BMF belt, which is the stupidest thing ever, but. You know, if there's one deserving guy of that, is Dustin Poirier. You know, it just toughest guys, just grittiest, hardest working guys. I mean, you give a lot of those. Dustin Poirier's in the top 3 of a lot of these conversations. Unfortunately, like you said, he didn't win a title, and when you don't win a title, I mean, you just can't be in a greatest of all time convo. You know, I also don't think you should be in a BMF convo because that's kind of what a title is. But regardless. You know, he's in the top of those conversations again because he maximized what he had, and you know, had he had just a little bit more athleticism, a little bit more good luck on his side, you know, just a little bit of something, he'd been champion 100%, right? But you know, it just doesn't play out that way for everyone. There's too many fighters, and some guys get passed up.
Что ты делаешь? Химичишь, да?
Аналоген.
Давай.
Каждый спиртовую салфетку, да?
Все, давай.
Медленно?
Да. А можешь так чуть-чуть побыстрее, можешь, да. Это не антибиотик.
Не болей.
С тебя хороший ветврач будет, знаю.
Скоро швы наложить.
Скоро будет, да?
Да, скоро будет. Здесь что? Здесь все, здесь.
Рано там.
Давно.
Давай, делай, ничего не будет. Делай.
There was a gratuitous fence grab in the fight-ending sequence by Taliesin Teixeira, right? Then it's a point deduction or a 2-point deduction or a DQ, but I don't think it's a good stoppage. That's how I saw it when it played out. I thought it was a particularly bad stoppage from a historically elite referee. I know there was a fence grab, and so perhaps you can rationalize it in that, and perhaps the outcome was an eventuality. But yeah, I was not a fan of the stoppage despite Derek Lewis's productivity.
The only thing I would say is it's a little bit different when it's heavyweights involved. You know, these guys are throwing serious leather. I think if it was a lighter weight class, yeah, it would be even worse. I'm not saying it was a good stoppage necessarily, but you know, Derek Lewis being on top of you with ground and pound, you know, already landed a huge shot. Teixeira, young guy, still has a long career ahead of him. I don't know, man. That was tricky for me, but certainly, again, when the fight was stopped and Teixeira was turned around, he looked like he was fine. So that's a really, really tough one. It's hard when the fighters have their back to you to really assess how much damage they're taking or how lucid they are and
right.
how with it they are. And I think, you know, Jason Herzog kind of took the safe route, which I think is what a referee should do in that situation. So, yeah, I have mixed feelings on it.
You know,
Jon Jones and Conor McGregor on the same card would be, historic, the biggest of all time. It feels like. Is that another thing that might be in the works as well? Because I saw a lot of him talking about it too.
Literally a year away from now, so the landscape will change a lot over the next year as far as title holders and stars and people that pop up. But if we do a Jones and Conor on the same card, plus a lot of other great fights, anything is possible and everything is possible for that card.
You said it's about a year from now. Do you have a date already picked out?
It's the 4th of July. It's the 250th anniversary of America.
Yeah. Holy is that the greatest thing of all time? I mean,
yeah, it is.
Yes, it is, by the way. Yeah, the flyover.
Yeah, might work.
The flyover is about to be holy.
Imagine, just think about what I'm going to do for this fight, and then think about what Trump is going to do for this fight. You know what I mean? It's going to be it's a one-of-one experience. Like when we did the Sphere, it's the Sphere on steroids. I mean, it's going to be a one-of-one event. There'll be nothing like it ever again. The possibilities for this thing are insane. Obviously everybody wants to fight on that card, and that's a good thing because we're going to put on the best card we've ever done for that White House event.
Все, давай.
5 years later.
By knockout and